Again, we're in the studio here with Jay from CBST Adventures. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jay.
Yeah, great to be here with you.
And let's see, I understand you had probably not the typical commute into the studio today, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, last night I was able to spend time with a friend and a couple of his kids up on Shrine Mountain at the Chuck's cabin at the Shrine Mountain Huts. And so came out this morning and saw the sunrise over the peaks. And, oh man, it was just a great way. Skied on down, and here I am.
Not a bad Monday morning, right?
If you have to do a commute, it's not a bad one.
I am envious of that. Okay, so now you are joining us from CBST Adventures, and for those of our viewers that are unaware, can you just kind of briefly explain what is CBST Adventures?
Absolutely. CBST Adventures provides experiential leadership and team building trips and activities for folks, anywhere from a half day to 4-day adventures where we take people out, we take them out of their comfort zone, and we work on their leadership development, we work on their team building, and make sure that they have a good time.
Yeah, kind of like what you did last night.
Exactly. We've done one of those before as well.
And we were kind of chit-chatting a little earlier how an advantage of working with you guys is you know how to find the powder during a season like that we had, right?
Indeed. Yeah.
Now, what brought you into this line of work?
Yeah, so I had worked for 23 years in the enterprise software space, flying around the world talking to people about software. So it doesn't necessarily lend itself to, hey, this adventure-based opportunities.
Yeah.
But what I always found was while I was out there working, you know, flying around, spending time in Sydney or Singapore or wherever, I ended up finding adventure wherever I was. And it was something that really drove me and drove my passion. About 4.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to step back, take a year off. Friends of mine called it the ski-batical. And went out and I adventured for 365 days straight. And it was a life-changing experience. And at that time, I was on a backpacking trip and I had this vision of being able to take out folks from companies, take them out of their comfort zone on a rafting trip, biking trip, hiking, backpacking, something that got them outside of their normal experience. And then work with them on leadership, on emotional intelligence, on team building. And with that, I made a decision to go forward. I ended up buying a company, CBST Adventures, and really transforming it into that kind of company that focuses more on the in-depth leadership work and the in-depth team dynamics.
That sounds great. Like, so you basically had your own sort of personal experiences in these adventures, and you kind of wanted to share that with other people, right? Now, what kind of impact have you seen in your customers?
Yeah. You know, when we sit around the campfire at the end of the night and we start talking about what it is that people feel, how it is that they've worked with each other, places they've pushed past and pushed past their own limitations or own fears, and they've gotten to the other side and say, man, that made all the difference in the world. And we see that the way that they work with their employees, the way that they work with their bosses, the way that they work with their customers, all changes.
And how does that make you feel? Like, because you're you know, fostering all of this.
Yeah.
Right?
It's one of those things that with the late nights and the struggles on getting ready for some of these things, right? And you know, it's not all fun and games.
Yeah.
But it makes it so worthwhile. And I had one trip last month where I was out 4 days, and I went from 6:30 in the morning until 1:30 the next morning every single day for 4 days straight.
Wow.
I was energized more and more each day watching people move to that next level of connection with their team and breaking through their own fears and own desires.
Yeah, that's great. I remember we were talking a little earlier about, do you have any regrets as far as getting into this line of work? And you know, I can't imagine that you would, but yeah, as you said, lots of hard work.
Right. So it's funny because I talked to Scott Westcott, who owned Wilderness Sports, and one of the days we were reminiscing about our corporate days where we worked in the corporate field. And he goes, you know, sometimes you wonder what was so bad about, you know, the steady paycheck, the vacation time, the working 9 to 5, or the benefits, things along those lines. And yeah, in one sense you go, wow, you know, in the past that was great being able to have that kind of safety. So do I regret moving on to this, you know, new area where you're working with personnel, you're working with government agencies, you're working with cash flow issues, things along those lines? Yeah, you tend to look back and go, man, that was kind of nice. But do I regret doing what it is that I'm doing now?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. No. I live with no regrets on doing this. I'll say it's been hard.
Yeah. But you're bringing so much change into people's lives, and that's got to be so rewarding.
That's the key thing.
Now, for the folks out there that are interested in finding more about the types of adventures that they can book with you, what's the best way of getting a hold of you?
You know, the best way, go to our website, cbstadventures.com, and take a look at what we provide from the leadership development and the team building side of things. We also do community impact events. And that's another thing we'll save for another segment.
Sounds good.
But,
Sounds good.
And then, of course, our phone number's right on there. Give us a call.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jay, for joining us this morning. Always good chatting with you. Okay, folks, we are going to take a little break, but stay tuned. We still have got that Watch and Win coming up, which again is a free lift ticket to Loveland Ski Area.
Beautiful day here in Colorado.
You are not going to want to miss your chance to win that Watch and Win this morning. So stay tuned.